Alright, what's going on? So welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to go through and literally just be honest with my strategy on growing my business Genflow in the USA. I guess just to quickly summarize, so the business has been launched for 3 years, we've done amazingly well, and we've sold $20 million worth of product across our clients. So this is something that we know and we are very good at now. The business is very successful. That being said though, I feel like we're just getting started. The opportunity in the market is so big, being that social media influencers and people with a following are only growing every single day. As more and more people get on the internet, more and more people use social media, influencers just get a bigger audience, and that means we have a bigger opportunity. So in the UK, we've managed to scale kind of organically. We've just gone from client to client, worked our asses off, and just delivered results. And when we deliver results for a client, another person sees it, they get in touch with us, and we end up getting more clients. But here in the US, it's a bit different. So I came here in February, and I hired a head of business here in LA. Her name is Stephanie, and then we hired an account manager to work with her. Her name is Sabrina. So they've been here now for about 5 to 6 months, working away, building relationships, and just laying the foundations of our Genflow USA expansion. So the plan there for me was this, that I thought, number one, let's start emailing influencers directly. Literally just cold email as many influencers as we can. That kind of fit our criteria. I am going to make a separate video about what we look for in social media influencers, because this is probably the question I get the most in my DMs, hey, can you work with me, blah blah blah. So I do want to go through that because it's a very particular thing that we at Genflow look for. So they know that, of course, and train them up to know that and understand that, so they can reach out to the right people. So that was the first thing that they started doing, which actually has gone really well, because here in LA the culture is different. So if you email somebody, obviously it has to be a proper email, well thought out. When you're writing a cold email to somebody, you've got to resonate with them in some way and make it so personal and real that people know that, okay, this is someone normal, and make them realize that we're in the same place, area, location, city. But yeah, here in LA, it's very common to if you send a good enough email, that people would want to meet with you. It's the culture is very hey, yeah, let's meet up, get lunch, get drinks, say hey to each other, no obligation. In London, it's very if you're meeting somebody, people are whoa, I can't just meet you. Here, it's very different, which has really helped us because it gives us a chance to meet someone, actually talk to them, and that normally leads to some positive outcome. So that's been going well. Number two, which has been the longer and the harder strategy, but I feel the right one, we started reaching out to all the agencies here. So in LA, if I was to sum it up, you have the top tier agencies, which is CAA. They're one of the biggest agencies in the world. They literally have the biggest movie stars to everyone. It's a global agency. So we've gone and met with them. They've come to our offices. We've literally gone through 3-4 rounds of meetings. What's very important is when you're meeting these agencies, that it's not an easy thing. It's a 6 to a 12-month plan to be able to get through the door, get to the right people, get to someone senior enough that we can do some sort of partnership. So yeah, we've met with CAA, who is the top. So just to say, firstly, there's levels. So the A level, B level, C level. At the A level is CAA, and we've met with them. There's UTA, which we've also gone and met with those guys, and things are going really well with them. They own another company called DBA. Yeah, funny names here, but essentially United Talent Artists is the UTA. So they will look after, let's just say, Leonardo DiCaprio, I don't know, but maybe A-listers like that. And then the B-list would be, they have an agency below them who then look after all social media influencers and digital talent. And in this case, that was DBA. We've got a good relationship with them. Then we've gone and met with WME, who are a huge agency. We actually worked with the UK team already, so that was a bit easier. And now we're working with the US team. So that's been on the A-list side. We've gone and met with some of the biggest agencies. Then on the, I guess, not really B-list, but then there's more specialist agencies, because these top ones are global agencies with offices in 15 different countries. Then we've gone to the second level, and we're going and meeting with those guys. That's something there's Paradigm we met with. There's Clear Talent we met with. There's Honestly, there's been so many, I actually don't remember the names, but they all specialize in something. So like one would look after like all the dancers, one would look after like all the actors, one would look after like all the makeup YouTubers, one would look after like the fitness people in this scenario. So that everyone has a unique thing. So we basically, what happens is we end up like getting in touch with them, we send them our deck. I'm going to make a separate video on decks, because literally that's like the holy grail of business. If you're not good at putting a good deck together for your business, you might as well just call it quits. So yeah, we send them our deck, we push for a meeting. If we get the meeting, mostly we'll end up going to their office and like telling them about us. And then we do a second meeting at our office, we call them to us. So what's happened is, this time when I've come out here, basically either Sabrina and Stephanie have already met with like a lot of the agencies already, and so I'm doing like the second or maybe even the third or even the fourth meeting with some agencies. So it's very warm by then for me to come in and basically like tell them a bit more about the business, the story, you know, the DNA of like why and what we can do, etc., etc. And at that normal stage, what ends up happening is that they'll end up saying, hey, in the meeting they'll be like, I have these 4 clients. One wants to start, one's a mom and she wants to start like a onesie business, or one's a gamer, he's one of the biggest gamers in the world, and like he wants to release his own like vodka drink. So essentially the conversation just flows then. What happens is that once we kind of tell people what we do and how we work, they'll start coming back to us and saying, hey, this is what we want with this client, this client, this client. We start talking, seeing if there's any potential, what is that they want. And then, yeah, and it's been going really, really well. We've obviously signed some clients through this method, so we know it works. A lot of conversations are happening. So that's kind of been like my second strategy, when I would say, when it comes to my growth strategy out here in LA. So number 1 was direct contact. Number 2 was going and becoming friends with all the agencies. And then number 3 is, I guess there's a lot of independent agents here. So these are people that like would have worked in like an agency maybe for a long period of time. They end up leaving and kind of just becoming like a one-man agency, and they make money by the connections and the people that they know. So that's been my third thing. So I've met a couple of people out here who are very good at that. So they basically have a lot of relationships with famous people. And on the other side, have a relationship with agencies, they have a relationship with brands. So they're just very good people to know. I met someone like this recently, his name is Mo. He has a huge roster of people that he knows, people like Dan Bilzerian, people like Millie Bobby Brown, who's from Stranger Things, also Noah from Stranger Things, who we're actually currently speaking to. It's a very exciting project. Lucy Hale from Pretty Little Liars, we're currently talking to as well about a project. So yeah, I met up with him. Yeah, good conversation. I met him once. Second time we went out for lunch. So it's very relationship driven. So business is very, very relationship driven. So you need to understand how to like deal with people, read people, understand people. What does somebody want? You can't act the same with every single person. I literally have 12 versions of me, because like depending on who I'm talking to, I need to be able to turn into that person to be able to do good with it. So yeah, that's been like my third way of growing the business here. So we got asked to stop recording. We were sitting over there. But yeah, so I guess you get the idea. So that's pretty much what I'm doing to grow the business out here in the US. You know, you probably noticed we're not doing stuff like PR, we're not doing any ads, we're not doing that kind of stuff. It is very relationship based. Either we're doing reaching out ourselves or through people, and that's the best way, because you know you can reach the right people, say the right things, and get what you need done. But yeah, hope you like this video. It's a bit different, just putting it out there, like this is what we're doing, this is how we're getting our clients, this is why the business is growing. There's no secret to it. You got to put the work in, but you got to realize what works for you. So if you have a business and you're trying to figure out how to scale your business, how to get more clients, you just got to figure out what works for you. What I've just said works for my business, as that's the business I'm in, but you just need to see what works for you, and then that's it, you'll be ready. So yeah, hope you like this video. Let me know what you think, hit like and subscribe. A lot more stuff coming very soon.